What's up, everybody? Welcome to Critical Points special guest interview with Cam. Cam, say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for being on the show here, and let's talk about some stuff here. So, it looks like you recently joined IMP. Tell us what's up with that.
Well, um, if you know, for the ESL LAN tournament coming up in August, you have to be 16 and up to go. Well, in Omniscience, two players were not old enough to go, and two players are extremely busy. And me and J7 are like the active players of Import. I guess you could say that the most who active 16 and up.
Okay.
Well, when we went to Drunk and Retros and we talked about joining Imperial, they didn't really believe us because, they're one of our biggest
Biggest rivals, yeah.
competitors. Yeah, like it's always us or them in GS. So they didn't really believe it. And so the main reason was for our future and also, to increase our chances of making it to the land. So
Do you
that's why we joined
do you
Imperial.
think there's going to be any backlash on this, like in the fact that people are gonna say that you guys are team stacking again, and I personally don't give a shit either way, because that's just
Well,
my opinion. But what do you think about that?
Well, I wouldn't really call it that because we were winning. Like our last 2 weeks in ESL, we beat Imperial and we beat GS. So like, I'm not gonna look at that as that. You can even go back to the ESL if you really don't believe me, or you can even go to the Alliance. All matches are always close. It had nothing to do because we lost in the ESL. It literally had to. It literally all came down because of the ESL. Man,
Yeah, it
like
sounds
that's
to
our.
me like it comes down to business, to be honest. I mean, because if you're going to be a part of a team that's going to competitively compete, especially in the CSL LAN, you don't want to put in all that work and then not even be able to get to go if you guys make it to
Yeah,
the finals.
exactly, and that was our whole reason. Like it had nothing to do with us losing or us giving up. Just like we looked at this as a better opportunity and for our future. So like it had, mm, I wouldn't really call it like team hopping because we were in Rain for a long time, and Rain became Omniscience, and I was in pretty much the same team for like the last since like October
Hmm.
when I went to Phoenix, and now I'm in Imperial, and I'm gonna be staying here for as long as possible.
How do you think the transition is going to go? Are you guys going to be starters or subs, or do you guys have
Um,
to work your way up? Or I mean, I guess you guys kind of officially kind of came from the same organization originally, anyways.
well, Imperial, as everyone knows, they're the kings of legacy. So we even told them like, and they're smart enough to not to like change the roster lineup for the good maps. Now, for the maps that they're not sure on, they change it up. Um, like we still really don't know. The only map that's like 100% is the legacy map, the which is like this retro Agile drone. And I think Alpha, and that was the team that 3-0'd. Oh my god!
Oh, it's all good.
Sorry. You probably have to delete that.
No, it's all good. I like the live factor of keeping it in there, but we can go back.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, that's fine then.
Um,
Okay.
so let me ask you this. I personally have been following you as a player since I started playing COps, because whenever I looked up anything about critical points, like your name came up. Um, is there any kind of like strategies and tips you do besides practice a lot? I mean, I watched your video, the team stacking video response that you put, and some of the things you said on there were great, because it's like people forget that how much work as players, like at that time, you guys really had put into the game, and everyone was trying to give you guys backlash for that. How often do you play, and how many hours a day do you play?
If I had to say how many hours I played just by myself, like maybe an hour or two. Before it was a long time. Like I up for like 3 or 4 hours, but I mostly try to pub, and then I go to like the Elite, which is like the public ranking Discord.
Oh yeah, tell
I
us
might
about the
do like
Elite.
most of the time, I personally play the Elite to warm up. Like, when I'm ready to go scrim with my team, I'm like, I'm just gonna go over to TE for a little bit. TE is a place where you can rank with your friends, or if you're trying to warm up, or if you want to take it seriously, there's always points you can do. So I mean, I use it to warm up, and like it's always good just to relax and play with like your friends or people from other places.
There seems to be a lot of big players in the community to play in the Elite. Is that run by former members of Team Phoenix?
Yes, Abs and Angel and Agden, I think, are the three owners of it. I'm not sure on that, but I know Abs. Abs is like the one that created the whole thing.
Okay. So, do you think now that you joined Imperial, do you think Imperial's chances of making to the LAN finals is that much better?
But like, well, to be honest, we knew it's either gonna be GS, Omniscience, or Imperial that makes it to the land because there's only gonna be two,
Correct.
which means one of these teams is gonna sit out. And like to be honest, I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like I was nervous. Like I didn't really have confidence in our team because, like I said, two of the players are younger.
Hmm.
Cryptic is only 14, and he was a player I really wish was older. He actually toffered, I think, our last two wins against Omni.
Wow.
I mean Imperial when I was in Omniscience. And so like not having him is a big deal. And then Smiley is all extremely busy,
Mm.
and Medusa is also busy.
So, what happens to Team Omni now then?
I really don't know. I was honest with them when I left. I told them, and I told them the reason why I was leaving. You know, some people didn't like it, and then others were happy for me. And so I don't know what's gonna happen to them.
I mean, me as an owner, I always want my friends and members of my team to always be put in the best situations. And if someone has to leave to go better themselves, I'm all about that. Obviously, there should be no hard feelings if they do it in a professional way. And it seems like you probably did it very professionally. So,
I mean, I tried to be as professional as possible with it. And me and J7 both got into a VC with them, and we told them what we were doing.
what do you think about with the ESL having the land just on C ups now? Do you think this game is, by the time it's fully released, do you think this game will eventually become one of the bigger games to be played on, especially the mobile platform?
Yes, I really do. I think it will. I mean, it's already going in the right path. Especially like I think it's a VG 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
Hello, sorry.
It's all
My
good.
gosh. I think it took VG 2.5 years before there was a lantern. And like it wasn't like extreme. It was pretty small. And I know this was gonna be small, but I started playing Seahawks in December of 2015.
Jesus.
So, but like, there's more to that. If you want to come back to that.
Yeah,
Um,
if you wanna talk about the past and stuff, that's fine. That's what this interview is all about. I personally love finding out information on players and how they came up in the game. That's what I find interesting. Just like if you look up a band, your favorite band, and you find out the history of their band and stuff, and roster changes, it's the same thing in my opinion. So go ahead, tell us about Cam.
all right, so I used to play the game Modern Combat 5. Most of everyone knows what that is. It was pretty much where everyone from Seahawks is now was in MC5. MC5 was pay to win, or it became pay to win, and everyone just kind of stopped playing it because no one wants to pay $100 before you even get a chance to win.
Oh, absolutely not.
Most of the time, it was even more than that. But um, I took a break from like gaming, like the 2015 summer, and then pretty much all the way down until December. I came back because I wasn't even living at home. I was living with my grandparents, and I came back, and Joker from GS, he told me about Critical Ops. It was like, hey, there's this new game. There's gonna be tournaments. It's like Counter-Strike. And I was like, oh, really? So he gives me the test flight code, and I download it. And it was pretty good. I was playing on the iPad Air, the original iPad Air. Well, I just kept playing and playing and playing and playing. Like I would not stop grinding CL back then.
Yeah,
You
it
just
hooked you
couldn't.
in. It was addictive, huh?
Yeah, like I remember you would join every single pub and like you would just see like all the King members, all the SXC members, all the D members, even the OL members.
Oh wow,
And
those are
like
the old school community members, huh?
yeah, well like they're still around. Most some of them are, but like it's not how it was before back in the old Seahawks days. Like in the old Seahawks days, people would play and play and play. Like I remember last summer we would have like 10 KVKs a day, which is Kings versus King.
Oh wow.
When we would do that, we wouldn't even need to scrim up the teams. We wouldn't need to show that. I'm pretty sure that's what we dominated.
Yeah, you
But
guys got
because-
so good because you're playing against the best of
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, and like we never like had to show anyone like our strats or anything like that. So, like, I'm pretty sure that's what we dominated so well. And like no other team would be able to scrim each other. They all had to like fight sometimes.
Hmm.
But anyways, so yeah, I started playing in like that December in the test flight version. The Critical Ops was only been released for like a couple weeks back then, so like I've been there since the start, and I played it, and I ended up leaving SXC because Joker actually benched me for the tournament because he picked up DVS, which some people know what that is.
Mhm.
So it's like you know what DVS is?
Yeah.
They were like that old team.
They're an old
Yeah,
school team.
so he picks up the team DVS and puts me as a sub, and I didn't like that. And like I was like, we just beat DVS. I was like, why would we be sub?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was going to make a team with a guy named FLC, which there's a good chance you don't know who that is. He was a guy from FC5 who had one called Imperial. He was a really good leader, but he just doesn't really like C-Ops. So he stopped. He just like quit. But I was gonna end up making a team with him, and I ended up joining Kings. I asked Abs, I would really like to join Kings. Well, he needed a third player for the very first tournament, and he was like, "Cam, this is your chance. If you want to join Kings, you got to do good." And our first match was actually against Gods, but SXC cheated and played on their accounts.
Oh.
And I top fragged in it, or I second fragged, or did good in it. And Abs was like, Cam, you're joining Kings. I was like, yes. Like, I was in Kings from that moment on until we went to Phoenix.
Yes, talk about the Team Phoenix.
August.
Team Phoenix acquisition, because that was a big deal, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm almost there. So yeah, I was in Kings for all of that time, and I wouldn't say I was the best player in Kings then. Like I was just an average player. Like I did my part. That's it. Well, I started saving up money because I cracked my iPad. Like I dropped it one day and it just cracked like the whole left side,
Ooh.
and like it was bothering me. Like I was starting to cut my finger a little bit, like crack or whatever. I started saving up my money. My birthday was right around the corner. And I asked my mom, I want an iPad Pro, the new one. It was like iPad Pro had only been out for like a couple weeks, and like right before the Arden tournament came around, I got an iPad Pro. And like I'm not saying this game is about device, but having a good device will help you.
Oh, I definitely agree with that, because players that play with like a bad Android or an okay Android device definitely get drop frames, whereas anyone on any iOS device has no drop frames.
Yeah, so like the game's not completely about a device, but having a good device is definitely going to help you in the long run. Like having my iPad Air, like I still got like 50 frames on it, but like it would lag when there was a smoke. I had to play on low graphics, but when I got my iPad Pro, 60 on Ultra.
Oh wow.
And I had everything I needed. And from that moment on, like that's pretty much where I got it. When I got my iPad Pro, ever since the Art tournament, that's where I got my name. That's where I started making my own name for myself. And like I I don't know. I didn't like back then. I grinded a lot in pubs. Like I would always practice and practice. Like I'd do a scrim and I'd do bad in, and like I would just remember what I did wrong in it, and I would just learn to like outsmart people. Like that's my biggest goal is just to outsmart people. And it's not about just getting like a three piece
Yeah,
or
it's
clutching
the
up.
game sense. You have to have
Yeah,
correct game
yeah,
sense.
exactly. And like that's my biggest thing. And, like I'll be honest, like I'm not being cocky, but I'm pretty sure my game sense is probably one of the best in this game. Like I can outsmart a lot of people, and like sometimes I can even like sometimes I try too hard to outsmart people, but like that's like my biggest thing is just using your game sense. I was like, you don't have to just run in and try to get the kill. You could just outsmart them or play it smart, and you know
Make them expose
you can
themselves.
just see once. Yeah, exactly. And you know some people don't get that, and like that's my biggest thing when I'm in the team. Just use common game sense. Like you don't have to like just run in and die. You just bait them out, bait them to you, or play it smart.
Yeah, games like and patience. I think patience and game sense kind of go together because I know I've played in scrims and stuff, and people start freaking out when they're like, "Oh man, there's like 50 seconds left." I'm like, "It only takes 4 seconds to plant the bomb." So, like that patience, I think, making the other team expose themselves, running around because they see the clock's getting low, so they start rushing from CT points to find where you guys are. I think that definitely is something that is acquired over time, and learning how to play under pressure, which is a acquired skill as well.
It definitely helps a lot to have the patience is something I really do not have, but I'm working on it. It's hard to just sit there in one spot for a long time, especially for like a minute and a half. But
Yeah.
some people can do it, but I'm working on that.
Continue about Team Phoenix. So, you had said that you joined Team Phoenix.
Yeah, so in August, I believe, late August or early September, I don't remember when it was, but it was somewhere around there. Kings got picked up by Phoenix, Team Phoenix. The people that went from Kings was Cam, Sippets, Kuba, Abs, Angel, and Nilio. And like we were supposed to be the dream team. We really were. Like no one could ever beat us. Like no, we would scrim teams every single day, and for like a month straight, nobody ever beat us. Like we would 13-4. Like I don't think there was ever a team that would get over 5 rounds on us. Like we were literally like the dream team.
I'm pretty sure you guys didn't have a tournament loss till literally what, a month and a half ago. Was that what it was?
No. That's see that's the old that was the new team Phoenix. I'll get to that.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So whenever that was the old Phoenix, there was never a tournament back then. There weren't tournaments back then. This was like from August to like November, and ESLs didn't even come out till late November. Well, the team ended up just kind of falling apart. Like Redemption got really good, and like they were the first team to ever started catching up, and like they would get like first they'd get like 9 rounds against us, then they would get 11, then they'd get 12, and then they'd beat us, and like they were the first team to start beating us. Well, one day we lost versus them.
Mike, he'll probably get back on.
Sorry, I'm back. All right, so one day we lost to Redemption, and we kind of took a break for a little bit. There was some problems, and we're like, we'll just shake it off, like it's fine, or whatever. It's good. Well, there was a big fight, and I ended up leaving that day. I left, Sippets left, and then Angel left. And, Phoenix wasn't really much of a thing anymore. And as everyone knows, I went to Union. I made my own team. Went with Union. And, it didn't work out as I thought it was. Like, I thought it was going to work out, but it didn't. My Union team was me, Drone, Alpha, Joker. Well, we went up in the tournament against Redemption. It was like our tournament, and we lost 13-10. I almost dropped 30, but wasn't quite there, and we just couldn't pull it off. And ever since when I lost that day, I went to Phoenix. But people thought I was team up because I lost. I said a week before that I was going back to Phoenix. Like I was like, we're gonna make Phoenix shine again. Like Phoenix is gonna be number one again. And like Phoenix was our best opportunity. Like it was our best hope. Like, it's a we saw if do you know the Phoenix VG team?
Yes.
Armada, Armada or whatever they're called.
Hmm.
Yeah, they they won the world championship and won like $120,000.
Hmm.
Like we thought Phoenix was gonna be our best option. Well, me, Jordan, and Alpha went to Phoenix that day. We all went to Phoenix, and we became Phoenix Rain, which the team was Cam, Milio, Protox, and J7. Doden was not on our team yet. We're almost there, and we'd play for a little bit. We kept playing. We lost to Redemption like 5 times in a row, and Redemption began to get cocky. Like they got super cocky. And we got to the point where Protox actually left the team like the week before we played Redemption, our first tournament. He had to leave, and we always switch our rosters ever since then. Like if we would use Kraken, we'd use Evolve, and then we'd switch it up. Like we just didn't know what to do because we never had a 4 lineup. And back then J7 was still new to comp. Like he wasn't how he is today. What he knows now, what his game sense is, he didn't really know. And we'd get so frustrated, but nobody ever left. Nobody ever did any of that. And we stayed together. And it was on the first VIS, Protox came back. He was like, I want to join Phoenix back. And we took him back. And we ended up beating Redemption 2-0. And from that point on, Redemption never beat us again. We never lost to them again. We beat them 7 times in a row. Or no. We beat Hammer, we beat Redemption / Uprising 7 times in a row. They would never even come close to beating us. They came close to beating us 1 time. We won tournaments for 2 or 3 months in a row. Nobody could beat us. And the team ended up splitting whenever we recruited Redemption because some people didn't like it. And we thought recruiting Redemption was going to be make us better, a better opportunity, who wouldn't pick up a good player when you get the opportunity, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And we recruited him, which I'll be honest, now it was the wrong move for recruiting Redemption. If you have a stable roster, you should just always keep it. That's what I've learned, and I'll never make the mistake again. I don't worry. It's not that I didn't like the players. It's just that it didn't work out. It just didn't work out, and it made things worse. And it's never good to do that. And people are you're probably thinking right now, well, what about Imperial? They have a good team. Well, Imperial has the same problem that we have. They have 2 players that are not old enough to go. That's when me and J7 come in. We thought about all this before we joined, and they talked about it. And everyone's going to be happy now. So, if you're wondering that, Alpha and Thest are too young to go.
Hmm.
So, that's why, me and J7 are here. And, that was a mistake recruiting Redemption. We had the best team. There was really no reason to recruit them. We just thought it was a good, it was time to maybe change it up a bit. And, it just didn't work out. Well,
Yeah, but that's the great thing about it. You guys have been through so much. You can live and learn. Whereas younger organizations or younger teams would probably collapse. Whereas you guys can move forward and learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Imperial was created when we were still Phoenix. Well, I'm not going to get into details why we all left Phoenix, but the team wanted to leave Phoenix. They just said, we're not really, nothing's really good here. Just to leave. And that's when Omniscience was created. And, Omniscience played. And I went to Florida for a week, or not really a week, a couple of days. And I actually got my iPad stolen. So, I didn't have a device for a week. And, I had to order a new iPad with my Alliance money that came in.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was pretty the Blanks money came in clutch, so
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm
It sounds like
back
it
to
came in
playing.
clutch.
Yeah, I'm back to playing now, but I didn't have an iPad then, wasn't able to play. But that was the whole. That's like the whole roster, I guess, for me. Every team I've been in,
Wow.
for me.
We have a. Actually have a question. Um, one of from Carson. He wants to know if you dropped out of school and if you did, why.
No, I didn't. I did not. I'm only 16.
Okay, so that
I,
was gonna be my next question. Was how old were you? But that answered that.
yeah, no, I didn't. There, people like what I've learned about playing Seops is that you get hate.
Oh yeah.
Everyone always gonna hate on who's ever like top, and that's just what people do to me. If I
That's
wasn't top, no one would really care about
that's
my
funny you
life.
say that because I get a lot of random hate now for doing this show, and I put people only hate people that are relevant or have more relevance than them, and that's the truth. So
People, what I've learned, if you want to have something in like Seops or even anything, you have to expect hate. Like ever since I became like I guess a good player and started winning tournaments, people just look for a reason to hate. Like I can't tell you how many times people go on my like people try to find my personal Facebook,
hmm
like look at pictures of me, like try to post it, try to roast me. Like I'm just like, yeah, you can still, and I'm
it's
taking first place. You can keep taking third place
yeah,
or fourth
it's
place or
it's
nothing.
definitely part of life in general. I mean, imagine like if you're an athlete, professional athlete, a professional actor, or something like that. It all comes with the territory, and that's just, do you want to have that in your life? That's basically what you got to deal with. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I consider esports as very professional. And these kids are really young. I've been around the industry for a long time. I'm 33, so I've seen esports grow over the last decade, and I try and explain to
Wow.
these kids that you can be a professional esport player. They don't understand that. There's
Mm-hmm.
maybe not in COPS yet, but I guarantee in a year the tournaments will go from $6,500 to 20,000. Because think now the next Alliance tournament, they got to jump their prize pool because ESL is doing 6,500 total cash. Now the next big tournament's got to outbeat that one and so forth. So next tournaments are going to be bigger and bigger and bigger with more sponsors and all that. And the people that really are competitive about this game will realize that, oh wow, there's actually money to be made, and you can be a professional esports athlete. So,
Yeah.
and that's
And
that's why I
a
bought
lot of
my
people don't
headset, you
understand
guys,
that.
because you guys been in the game. You guys will probably be one of the top teams, if not the top team, known in the game for a long time. So,
It's hard like playing. Like I'm not gonna. I spent a lot of time into this game. I put a lot of time and effort, and I gotta sacrifice a lot. But
mhm.
it all comes with a price, and
Yeah,
at first grinding the game wasn't so good. Like back in the day when there was no tournaments, you would just get on every single day, like hours out of the day, and scrim for no reason. There
for
was
no
honestly
reason.
no reason. And like now it's paying off. You know what I mean? Like it's paying off now. So like there's always good and bad to it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bad is
You have to make
you don't
sacrifices.
yeah. The bad is you make sacrifices and people are always gonna nag on you. They're gonna say you don't have a life.
hmm
There's 24 hours out of the day. You take like you probably take 10 of that to you probably take 10 of that to do school, like eat, do whatever you gotta do. You take like 3 or 4 out of that to play, rest, do whatever, and you take the rest off to sleep.
hmm
Like there's that's how much time you get in a day. Like for someone to say you don't have a life, or anyone, like I don't believe no one truly doesn't have a life. You can play Seahawks 10 hours a day and still go out and
hmm
have fun. Like
True,
it's
but
just people are gonna hate. Like I'm
th-
not. I'm honestly gonna be honest. Like the number one person that hates on me the most is a guy named Hugs. Like I really don't like the guy, but like I beat him in every single tournament that I play against him in, and like he just hates me. Like he just hates me. I don't know why. It's just something about the EU players.
hmm
Like they just hate me for some reason. Like I've never did anything. Like I can't wait to play EU at Atlanta. They have no idea what they're doing.
It's
They're.
they're
I'm gonna pull a Rex.
you're like, why
EU
are
is
they?
easy.
Ooh,
EU is just
you
easy. They
heard it
are
here
like
first, folks. Cam is saying EU is easy.
like like no offense, but Kings lost to like randoms and like they think that they're so good like and they don't even have anyone good in their roster in EU because the I'm sorry EU doesn't like have anyone. Kings don't have anyone in their line in their group or whatever you call it.
Hmm.
Do they like do they ever play Imperial, Gangstars, Omniscience, Lucidity? No. They have to play like AAS Clan or something like that. I don't know.
That's true. That's true. So
I'm just
you're
saying,
basically saying that
Atlanta, you're gonna see Kings like
if Kings
get
doesn't make it to the
disgraced.
LAN tournament, what do you think that they basically disband? Because
No. There's no way Kings aren't gonna make it to the last tournament. They're gonna come first or second. There's just no way they will.
but I'm saying if they don't though, what happens then? Cam, are you there?
Yeah. Someone keeps spamming my phone, like calling me. I had to tell them to stop.
It's probably the
Yeah.
haters from EU.
No, it's not. No one has my phone number. But yeah, like I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Kings, they're gonna show up at a LAN tournament. Meanwhile, there's Gangstars, Imperial, I guess you could say Omniscience, and you can say Lucidity. We all fight for the number one spot.
Hmm.
For the number one spot in NA. Meanwhile, Kings just get up there and just troll, don't even have to take it serious, and can come out first or second.
Wow.
But we gotta grind for it, we gotta practice. Whoever puts in the most practice takes it home, takes it all.
What
That's
about
how it is.
the Asia and South America brackets? Do you
I
think
mean,
if
I don't really know anything about them. Like, I'm an NIA fan.
mhm.
But if we're coming there, I like NIA.
Yeah,
Sim one.
I will put NA. I'll put NA at the top. But if we're going with Counter Strike, that's a different story. But we're not
If we
gonna.
go to Counter Strike, it's the SK. It's all
Yeah,
over.
we're not gonna talk about that. So, um, I have a couple people asking about like your HUD and your settings. Those are usually common questions. If you could post that
Yeah.
somewhere in the community for critical points, a lot of people like to see that. I know you've posted it before on your videos, but I didn't know
hmm
how many people follow you on your YouTube channel and stuff. So, if
Yeah. I mean,
is there anything else you want to talk about?
not really. That's it.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for being on the show. Shout out to our sponsors, Razer US and Catalyst Mints. And if you want to check out and follow Cam on Twitter, I believe it's at what is it?
Cam C ups.
Cam Cops, guys. So follow Cam on Twitter, follow his YouTube. Try not to spam the hate too much. And thank you for being on the show.
Yeah. You too. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
Peace.